8:55. I'm in the studio with, well, I'm here in the studio.
You're in the studio.
And so is Brett Dennen,
Yes.
who's playing the Sun Valley Opera House tonight.
I am.
And now,
Yes.
this isn't the kind of tour that you hear about all the time. Where I want to go skiing.
Yes.
And I want to hit all the ski towns. Now you just must come from Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
So where have you been skiing lately?
Well, on this tour, I got to ski in Eldora, outside of Boulder. I got to ski a couple of days in Beaver Creek, and a couple of days in Aspen. So this is the fourth stop on the tour. I'm skiing today and skiing tomorrow. Playing a show tonight.
Right, and then you're off to Jackson.
Yeah.
Now, there are 3 mountains in Jackson.
Uh-huh.
You've got Snow King,
Uh-huh.
you've got
Targhee.
Jackson Hole Mountain Resort, and Targhee.
Uh-huh.
Are you gonna hit all 3?
No, just Jackson Hole.
Just Jackson Hole.
Yeah.
So, this is kind of a vacation, and I'm playing music at the same time.
Yeah, well, it didn't take long for me to notice since I started playing music live that my best audiences are in mountain towns.
Right.
And I've always said that mountain towns are my favorite place, just because I love the mountains. I grew up in the mountains, and I come to last time I was here was in the summertime. I come to all these world-class ski resort towns in the summertime, and sometimes in the winter. But a lot of times I don't have enough time to ski, and I love skiing. I love playing music. I love mountain people. I love.
There's a more laid back.
Yeah, and I think mountain people appreciate music a little bit more.
Right.
Something about it. I don't know.
It's because
being remote, I think. Being stoked all the time.
Not everybody's coming through.
A little bit more extreme lifestyle here
right.
too. That I think I feel it more when I'm on stage. So I wanted to combine it all together and put it into a tour where, hopefully, the fans can come and ski with me, and hopefully we can have a little après party. This is down the road. We're still working it out. But what I'd like to do is have a nonprofit element, gather people together, maybe wear some funky vintage ski clothes, have a party on the mountain, play a show, and then move on to the next town.
The end of the season is when that usually happens. The people break out the funky ski wear and things like that.
Yeah. But here I am, smack dab in the heart of winter.
But you picked the best winter to possibly do this. You know, there's a lot of snow out there.
There is. It was hard getting into town.
Now, you had some trouble getting out of Colorado. Where did you have to fly into?
Well, I flew from Aspen to Denver, Denver to Salt Lake to here, but it took all day.
Yeah,
there's a lot of time sitting in the airport.
Going like,
yeah. And then of course all our bags didn't show up.
Well, that's one of the good things about doing it solo acoustic. As long as you have your guitar, you're good.
Yeah, well, I even said as long as I have my ski boots and my guitar, I can just go with jeans,
right,
and rent everything else.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, you talked about this nonprofit element.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've been known as a philanthropist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, tell us a little bit about your what you do as far as your nonprofits. Because you have more than one, don't you?
Well, in life in general, or here on tour now, or
everything.
My biggest interests are environmental, and I also like social causes, especially if it involves children. Because I just grew up working at summer camps, and I helped start a nonprofit organization called the Mosaic Project in the Bay Area, and we bring kids of different backgrounds together in a camp-like setting, and they educate each other about who they are and what makes them different, and build communities across their differences. But I've been working with an organization called Love, Hope, Strength for a long time, and we do hikes around the world and take money to remote areas that have oncology centers, and we try to broaden the bone marrow donor registry. I've involved with an organization called Protect Our Winters on this tour, and we're just trying to make people aware of climate change,
right,
and educate them, and help usher the new administration into keeping our commitment to the Paris Agreement. Tomorrow, actually, I'm going to be visiting a school, hanging out with some kids, doing some art and music here in town.
Yeah.
So
That's
You know, it changes everywhere I go.
right. When you have your hand in so many things, it's easy to kind of flip back and forth to what you're doing at that point.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters what you do as long as you do something that you're passionate about and something that may hopefully affects your own community.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you make music.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I love music, but music is a beast, you know? It can be like your lover, it could be like a mistress, it could be an enemy, it can be bliss, it can be torture, and I've just noticed over the last 5 or 6 years that sometimes it's everything, and other times it's not fulfilling me, and I have to branch out. And the nice thing about branching out is that it all is centered around music. Like,
right.
I've been working on my visual art a lot lately, painting more, and I've gotten involved with a wine company with a couple friends, and it's all great, and it allows me to do other things, but it all comes back to music, and music is the centerpiece for everything in my life.
And your music has taken an evolution.
Yeah.
Since you started. I mean,
yeah.
When you first started, and this is when I first met you, it was you and a drummer.
Yep.
And basically this very quiet sound that has kind of metamorphed into something completely different, which is you still have a signature sound because your voice is unique, but at the same time you've kind of ramped it up as you've gone along.
Yeah, well, I've learned different things, and I've explored, and every time I write a song, I try to push myself into an area that I haven't gone before. And as I've been touring, and my voice has gotten stronger, and I've gotten more confidence, so my approach to singing has changed, but I still go back into the quiet, more timid sounding voice, and I just don't want to do the same thing twice.
Right.
And it's not because I'm afraid of doing it, or I don't want to be stuck. It's just because it doesn't interest me.
Right. And you want to challenge yourself.
Yeah, I want to, exactly. And I consider music to be the thing I learn most about for myself and in life. Like, all the big lessons have come from either spending time in nature or reflecting through art. And I'm a changing person. You know, and I try to write songs ahead, like I try to foretell.
What you're going to be doing next.
I try to like lap myself with the music and then grow into the music.
I mean, that's challenging at the same time, but at the same time, it kind of makes it so that you don't get bored with it.
Yeah. Like I mean, I don't know if I should do this or not, but I could play you a song that I'm working on.
Let's do it.
And then you can kind of just see what I'm doing and where I'm going.
Work in progress.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's do it.
Okay. If I can remember it. Time to wake up. No more sleeping. Don't have to put on makeup. Don't wear your war paint. You can come as real as newborn child. You can come as real as you are. Building a gilded cage, looking for America. Living out the legacy of somebody I'll never know. Chained to my knowledge, looking for America. Buying just to fit in, owned by my own gold. And it's time to wake up. No more sleeping. Don't have to put on makeup or wear your war paint. You can come as real as newborn child. You can come as real as you are. Fill a man up with money, let him buy your country. The same thing that makes him rich makes another man endless. There's a whole generation not looking for Italian, somewhere on a country club with a pension round their wrist. And it's time to wake up. No more sleeping. Don't have to put on makeup or wear your paint. You can come as real as you were born, child. You can come as real as you are. Got a head full of heaven on a tilted table. If there's a tunnel that the bird flies through a steeple without a church. If there's a king in a high rise on in America, I confuse my purpose, my paycheck, my worth, and it's time to wake up. No more sleeping. Don't have to put on makeup or wear your paint. You can come as real as you were born, child. You can come as real as you are. As real as you are.
Awesome. And the little flourish at the end. Brett Dennen on 94.5 KSKI. Performing live tonight at the Sun Valley Opera House, part of the Sun Valley Center for the Arts Performing Arts Series for 2016-2017. Tickets still available?
About 5.
About 5 tickets left, so
get online.
Better
Hurry
jump
up.
on those right away at sunvalleycenter.org. Now, a work in the one thing that I've known about your music since I heard your first album is that your music has a conscience. It kind of, or maybe it's just you projecting your conscience into your music. And this song...
This is something I don't... Yeah, I mean, I take that as a compliment, but it's also something that I have always battled with as a writer, because I think music in general, just the motion of notes separated by time, however you describe whatever music is, right? It's a melody, it's sound with time. There's certain notes that are more emotional than others, but I just think the act of playing music taps into a subconscious and has... I just think when you're playing music and you're bringing people together and you're making people feel, I think that in itself has a conscious
right,
or a consciousness, or whatever you're trying to say. Lyrics that maybe I write that maybe have
well, you tap
some
into
political
a kind of
things in this. I just think music in general. But I always struggle. Is that enough? Because I feel all sorts of things, and I want, when I write, I don't want it just to be about one thing. I want, in a love song, to talk about the pain of the world also, and but I always wonder if it's just enough to make music, or if I have to say the things that I feel like I need to say. So I'm always kind of walking the line, because it can be a slippery slope, because sometimes when you get too heavy lyrically, it takes away from the visceral effect that music has.
Because basically, culturally, that's the one thing we have in common, is music. It's what you put into the music is what changes it.
Yeah.
And if you put too much into it, like the griot in Africa, that's their job, is to tell the story through the music.
Yeah.
And then if you basically can take that to the next level on a consciousness that we understand, that you can share, then you've done your job. Yeah,
well, you've done your job, but it's like, I guess I'm trying to walk the balance of like the I don't know, the headiness and the emotion. And sometimes if you get too poetic, or you say too much, you draw people out of the emotion. There's the balance where you say the right thing, and then that also causes an emotional reaction.
Right.
Or
and it might not be the reaction that you're looking for.
Yeah.
You might overstep your boundaries.
Yeah. So it's like that's what I like when I say that music can be torture sometimes. It's like I have things I want to say, but I get so frustrated because I don't know how to say them because it just doesn't feel right or doesn't feel authentic or feels forced.
You might be forcing it on.
Yeah.
And I can understand that.
Yeah.
You know?
So
you don't want to get anybody's face. It's the art that makes them think.
Yeah.
Not forcing them to think about your art.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we are in this philosophical.
Well, plus like a good music, just kind of you just make a song and then you say, I don't know what I did. It's just a song, and then people have their own interpretation.
Right.
Like I always will forever think, with that Paul McCartney song, somebody's knocking on, somebody's knocking on the door.
Right.
You know, somebody's let him in. Is he like talking about someone at the door, or is he talking about like let the people in, the civil rights movement, or like I don't know,
or just bring them into your world?
Yeah, there's so many interpretations, and that to me is like what we all should be striving for.
It's like poetry that means 1,000 different things.
Yeah.
You know, and it all depends on the way you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like a painting.
Mm-hmm.
You look at it from one angle, you see another thing. Mm-hmm. You look at it straight on, it's something else.
And maybe you ate something, and then you look at it again. A second ago, I didn't see those colors.
Well, it's great to have you in, and you're welcome.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Anytime you want to come skiing, you can come by the station and drop in. You know, you're more than welcome to.
Well, thank you.
Brett Dennen tonight at the Sun Valley Opera House. Go to Sun Valley Center to get one of those 5 tickets left for the show tonight, so don't miss this one. Thanks for coming in, Brett.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting into news, music.